During the height of the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a desperate, multi-billion-dollar psychological and technological chess match. Nuclear weapons were built, secret codes were cracked, and human spies operated in the deep shadows of Moscow and Washington. Every single day, the Central Intelligence Agency, or the CIA, scrambled to invent the next revolutionary surveillance tool that could tip the scales of global power. They built high-altitude spy planes, sub-miniature hidden cameras, and microscopic audio transmitters. Yet, in the 1960s, the most expensive, highly classified, and technologically insane surveillance asset created by the American government was not a satellite or a hidden microphone. It was a regular, ordinary gray house cat. This is the bizarre, unbelievable story of Project Acoustic Kitty, a multi-million-dollar military experiment where advanced biological engineering met absolute, unpredictable domestic reality. This was not a cartoon or a piece of fictional dark comedy. It was a top-secret technical reality that rapidly escalated from a triumph of surgical science into one of the most embarrassing, expensive, and shortest military deployments in human history. How could a simple domestic feline single-handedly defeat a team of the world's most brilliant surveillance engineers? Welcome to Echoes of War Documents. Today, we are opening the newly declassified espionage archives to uncover a hidden story where extreme superpower paranoia met a very sudden, tragic, and chaotic end. To understand how this catastrophic tactical error occurred, we must first look at the unique, suffocating environment of global espionage in the 1960s. Soviet diplomats and KGB officers were masterfully clever at sweeping their embassies and private residences for traditional wiretaps. They checked the walls, the furniture, the light fixtures, and the telephone lines. The CIA realized that if they wanted to overhear the most sensitive, top-secret Soviet conversations, they needed an audio recording device that could sit directly next to world leaders without raising a single shred of suspicion. They needed something invisible, mobile, and completely natural. That was when a team of high-level CIA technicians looked out the window and noticed a stray cat wandering effortlessly past a secure perimeter. They realized a terrifying, brilliant truth. Nobody suspects a cat of working for the government. However, turning a live animal into a highly advanced walking microphone created a massive, unprecedented biological and mechanical engineering nightmare. You could not simply tape a heavy voice recorder onto a cat's back. The animal would immediately try to scratch it off, or the target would notice it. To solve this, the CIA embarked on a highly complex, top-secret surgical mission. Over several agonizing months, elite veterinary surgeons meticulously implanted a miniature microphone directly into the cat's ear canal. They ran a tiny copper wire hidden underneath the skin, traveling down the spine all the way to a small, specialized radio transmitter surgically embedded inside the cat's chest cavity. Finally, to ensure the device could send a clear audio signal back to the monitoring van, they literally wove a thin antenna into the fur of the animal's long tail. It was a masterpiece of cybernetic surgery, but it came with a terrifying, basic problem. The cat was constantly distracted by its own hunger, ignoring the mission goals whenever it smelled food. To counter this natural obstacle, the surgeons went back to the operating table and performed another highly classified procedure to systematically alter the animal's biological drive, trying to override its sense of hunger so it would remain entirely focused on the human targets. After 5 long years of highly experimental testing, intense medical modifications, and over $20 million of taxpayer funding, the ultimate cybernetic secret agent was finally ready for its very first real-world field deployment. The year was 1967. The venue was a public park located directly across the street from the heavily guarded Soviet embassy compound in Washington, D.C. A specialized CIA surveillance van sat quietly at the curb, packed with advanced recording equipment and highly trained field agents wearing headphones. Their target was two high-ranking Soviet diplomats who had walked out of the embassy to have an intense, highly confidential conversation on a park bench, believing they were completely safe from the ears of American intelligence. The rear doors of the unmarked van clicked open. The handlers carefully placed the $20 million Acoustic Kitty onto the pavement, pointed it directly toward the park bench, and activated the remote listening devices. The mission was officially live. The fate of Cold War intelligence sat entirely on the shoulders of a small, furry creature. The agents watched through the tinted glass with absolute anticipation. The cat took a few slow, disciplined steps toward the park bench, its hidden tail antenna perfectly transmitting the ambient sounds of the city. The technology was working flawlessly. But then, absolute, chaotic domestic reality struck. Instead of continuing straight toward the Soviet targets, as it had been trained to do in empty laboratory environments, the cat suddenly noticed a common Washington D.C. yellow taxi cab speeding down the busy street. Driven entirely by random animal instinct rather than complex government programming, the cat turned around and bolted directly into the path of the oncoming vehicle. Before the horrified CIA handlers could even react or step out of the van, the taxi struck the animal, killing the world's most advanced $20 million spy instantly on the pavement. The entire multi-year project, the advanced micromachinery, the biological alterations, and the millions of dollars of cutting-edge technology were instantly crushed into the asphalt in less than 60 seconds of real-world deployment. The panicked CIA agents rushed out into the street, not to save the animal, but to frantically scrape up the highly classified, top-secret electronic remnants from the road before any passing Soviet agents or civilian onlookers could notice the mechanical wires inside the fur. In the cold, calculating world of international espionage, Project Acoustic Kitty remains completely unmatched in its bizarre combination of advanced human genius and absolute, hilarious failure. In 1975, the project was officially canceled and declared a total loss, with internal declassified memos concluding that cats are simply too difficult to train for high-level tactical military operations. It stands as a timeless historical lesson on how even the most expensive, advanced government technologies can be instantly brought down by a single unpredictable force of nature. What do you think about this wild event? Would you blame the arrogant CIA engineers for trying to control a cat? Or do you find this to be a fascinating piece of Cold War history? Let us know in the comments below. Smash that like button to support the channel and subscribe to Echoes of War Documents. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next historical archive.